right, it is episode 4 of the Rich Off Korean podcast. I'm your co-host Sean.
Wayne.
And first things first, shout out to consistency, man.
Yeah, man.
Episode
I told you we
4.
finna do what? One a week for a year?
For a year straight, man. That's what I'm saying. So shout out to consistency.
Yeah.
Started top of this year. Really stuck through it, seeing it through. And definitely already seeing the benefits. Just the feedback. And I think getting more comfortable on camera and, just sharing game. A lot of people have been appreciative of it. So,
and we finally get an opportunity to solidly work on the community.
Yeah.
So I like what we're doing, man.
Exactly.
What we doing? Great week though.
Yeah. What's one great thing from this week from you?
First of all, we made buku money today.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Today,
made great money today, man.
Shout out to everybody who booked something. Anything, dress rental, studio rental, photo shoot.
Just overall, it's been a great day in terms of all of our services, as a cumulative, coming together to make one of those amazing days when it comes to revenue.
Yeah, for sure. A great thing for me is actually that screenshot you sent me today, a couple hours ago.
Proof of concept.
Proof of concept.
Yeah.
We got an inquiry, from our spec work that we just recently did for the Valentine's Day campaign. So that's always great. You know what I'm saying? When you set out to do something and it actually happens, because that's literally the goal we had in mind. So, and
it's identical to the previous spec work that we did. And when we got our $7,000 branding shoot directly after that. So it's a similar situation of just putting the work out and receiving something back for the work that you did.
Nah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're flying in from Texas, I believe, too. Yeah, just to work with us. So again, that's always that's always, when people fly. Yeah, because there's photographers in their local market in Texas. There's some fire photographers. So, for them to appreciate the work so much to where they feel like they got to,
But we have a lot of people that I'm realizing are flying in for different services. A lot of our maternity clients are flying in from Dallas,
DC.
New York, DC. A lot of people come from the Caribbean. We have a lot of
Bahamian
shoots coming from Bahamas.
Yeah, a lot of Bahamian clients. Yeah, it's always a blessing, bro. It's always a blessing.
Yeah, now we're getting reach, global recognition for our work. And, the power of social media is really showing
up, yeah. So imagine if we sold like a product. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, it's limited to, it's a service. People don't really travel for services that often unless they really see the value. But
we have a product, whether it be a digital product or a physical product, then you really have the opportunity to take advantage of that reach.
Exactly. That would have been crazy. But yeah, man. Hey, listen, that Sabrina shoot. That Sabrina shoot, man.
Yeah, we always wanna kick off the podcast with breaking down some of our shoots that we do in the week. Of course, we do a ton of shoots during the week, but at least picking the ones that kind of test us the most.
Yeah, and we can provide the most value, give them a bit of insight.
Yeah, because some of our shoots are simpler in approach, and we're going to take the ones that are a little bit more testy and kind of give you guys that insight, that game, something that you can use maybe your next project or a bigger project to come, right?
Exactly. I'm looking at the picture right now.
Yeah, bro. But bro, come on, man.
Yes. So, let me ask, because you didn't share all of this info with me. So what was the inspiration? I didn't see any of your inspiration pictures. How did you?
So I'll drop that picture. Together? So I was just scrolling through Pinterest because, to be honest, this shoot crept up on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we didn't even see it. It was like snuggled in there between two shoots. Yeah.
Because you asked me, hey, what's up with this client? Because we kind of keep each other accountable with, reaching out to our clients and making sure that we're keeping that communication open. But you asked me about this client. It's kind of when it hit me like, wow, I did email her, but I didn't get a response.
Yeah.
So that kind of delayed my process of how I go through and plan for shoots, because typically I get that initial point of contact and I start going through. So because of that delay, it kind of put me in that mode now where I'm searching for work.
It's a little bit of urgency.
Yeah. So of course we have a Rolodex of concepts that we kind of have built up, but not everything applies to each client. So this was a case where what this client wanted was something that I didn't necessarily already have planned in terms of my lookbooks, right? So I was scrolling through Pinterest. Shout out to Pinterest.
Shout out to Pinterest.
Yeah. And I saw a photo that I'll add here, but it's just literally 2 pillars with floral on it.
Yeah.
And thank God we found those pillars.
Oh, yeah. Nah, them pillars is a blessing. And we got them on a discount.
Yeah, I mean, also a pro tip, you know, if you're a photographer that's looking for props or different things that you can add to your next shoot, you know, hit up Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, man. Facebook Marketplace for sure. And then, I mean, I feel like, not to get too much off on a tangent on this, but
yeah,
search the craziest thing you can search. There's people selling
anything
out there. Yeah.
Anything. So the image of the pillars and that floral was exactly what I tried to replicate here, and got definitely pretty close. Shout out to Key for kind of bringing this to life in terms of the floral. And that's one thing with our floral designs. We kind of come up with the concept of it, and we have somebody who's able to execute on these concepts. So definitely, I'll show the unedited image here of, you know, kind of what came together. Definitely something that is almost identical to how that setup is.
Yeah, out of camera, this is a shot.
I mean, this is straight out of camera.
How many lights was this again? 1, 2, 3.
So I have the 2 gels in the background mixing together, and then, it was 3.
Oh, cause I suggested that you don't do.
So I did have a fill light, right?
Yeah.
But we're in the shoot together, and you're like, well, it's kind of killing the mood of the shoot with that fill light. So we killed that fill light, and we just had that octobox.
And we still kept the pictures with the fill, so we could show them the difference.
We can show them the difference.
Yeah, we can show them the difference. Yeah.
And it's not a bad picture, but it was missing that mood to make it a little bit more dramatic. And this, this is a 3-light setup. It's a simple 3-light setup, and it's only simple because we practice gel work a lot.
Nah, facts.
Right?
Facts.
Something that was a little bit different here. We've done versions of creating this mood/haze or atmosphere in Lindsay's garden shoot when we use atmosphere in a can and kind of created that atmosphere there. This is a little different. I wanted to create that heavy ground fog across the bottom of the image, and I found a hack on YouTube of a guy, you know, using ice bottles.
Oh yeah,
like just frozen bottles. Right.
Yeah, now you slid with that. For sure.
Just frozen bottles, putting that in there, and then using a fog machine, because fog and ground fog are different. Ground fog gives you that look of dry ice flowing across the base of whatever you're shooting, right? So I did it here, and it gave me that mood. And the difference, all I'm going to do in post is kind of just extend that fog. I'll create that mood a little bit more. But the way the gels, that red and orange, complement the floral and her skin and the dress. And you don't typically see people mixing gel and floral looks together, because those don't always play well. But this,
I will say, I think this is definitely a step up in our new bag. Like this is a step into a different bag, and like an elevation of like,
it's creating that intersection of disciplines.
Yeah.
And where we didn't know that intersection kind of existed.
Yeah, because I lightly tested it with Kelsey's shoot. You couldn't really see it because like I set my shoot up like at a bad place. So I couldn't really have that pink hit how it's supposed to.
Oh, because you didn't have the room.
Yeah, I didn't have the space. But this, you nailed this, fam. This is, and I remember you explaining to me, you kind of want like a evening, kind of like dusk.
Exactly,
but
right.
not dark.
Precisely, and which is why I also went with these colors, right, to create that kind of golden hour feel, right, where it feels almost burnt, right, but it's very dramatic in the lighting. And I mean, beautiful mom to be. She came through with her husband, and we did amazing shots with him also. But this specific shot right here just stands out to me. Just the posing alone with her looking off into the distance, where it seems like, you know, she's looking at this sunset happening, bro. It looks amazing, bro. And this was shot on our white wall in studio.
Exactly,
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, there's a few things we're going to do in post. Nothing too crazy. Basic skin cleanup, kind of matching that that look with the bra and the dress all the way through. Yeah, extending the fog, basic skin cleanup. But overall, bro.
Yeah, no, this was a shot for sure. Do you want to go into the second look too, or you just want to? So
the second look was on spot.
Yeah.
Right? The second look was on spot. We did 3 looks for her, but the second look is something that we have to talk about simply because of how impromptu it was.
Yeah, right? For sure.
I had already had a plan of doing, she was wearing this big, bodycon bodysuit with these ruffles on her hand. And my initial thought was doing something that I've done before in a collaboration that we did.
Which one?
With Maylin.
Oh yeah, the slice of light.
Slice of light. This high key white background and just a slice of light. But you showed me this in shoot of this like.
Oh yeah.
This Vogue-esque look.
Editorial look.
Yeah, and I thought to myself like, yo, I mean, there's no question, we have to do this. Like,
facts,
we have to do this. And what was so funny, bro, is we're doing this, and as abstract as it is, right?
Bro, we're literally crushing paper. I'm going to show you how the video. We crushing paper in the shoot.
Oftentimes we do these things, bro, where our clients are looking like, what the hell are they up to?
On? Yeah, the whole time her and her husband looking at us like, I think I heard him say like, well.
This is different. Like, what is this?
Yeah, he was like, yo, this is different. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, some level of trust. I'm not going to call it trust. You're already here. It's already happening. So what are you going to do? Like, you just have to see us.
And most people aren't confrontational enough to be like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of trust and like.
Yeah. And we've never shot it before, but we're going to just see where it goes. One thing about us, we're going to try.
Hell yeah.
We're just going to see what happens. Yeah. And if we don't like it, abandon, right? Because we're not afraid to be like, well, this is BS. Yeah. Right. So we did this abstract cutout paper. We messed up our black paper that we just bought. But fresh roll of seamless paper, but it was worth it, man. And we just hit it with a hard light bare bulb Explore 600 directly onto it, and we placed another 2 Explore 600s in the background, shooting into V flats to create almost an even exposure across that high key white. Because when you shine the bulbs directly onto the white wall, it creates those hot spots that you spoke about previously in the last episode. You never want those hot spots. So we kind of just reversed it and created this even high key white across the back. And it's such a editorial shot, right? And because it was impromptu, we had to come up with those poses on the spot. But again, it's something that we practice over and over. Those poses are in our bag. Yeah.
I'm saying.
So regardless of what the shot would have been, I mean, we have probably 1,000 poses on mine in terms of go-tos, bro. Yeah. But definitely, I mean, I love this shoot. I love everything about it. I can't wait until we edit this. Maybe by the time the episode drops, everything is done.
Yeah.
And that way we can include it. But if not, definitely, pay attention to our Instagram because we're going to drop these. Yeah, for sure.
And we probably just mention on the next episode when it does drop.
Yeah.
Show
the update. Yeah.
Yeah. Facts.
But you also did something crazy this week, bro.
Yeah, you can pass the laptop.
For Valentine's Day, man. Again.
Yeah.
This man trying to go.
Listen, 2 for 2.
2 for 2 for the Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
I like it, man. I like it.
Nah, I'm feeling inspired, bro. I can't even cap.
Are we gonna be like ambassadors for gel work?
Listen, I mean, if gel, who made gels? I don't even know.
Let's talk to him. No, I'm saying maybe y'all can sponsor our next episode.
Listen, who make gels? Hold on, I think your laptop frozen.
Yeah. My laptop's been messing up, man.
Yeah.
Apple dropped those Vision Pros and all of a sudden.
No, facts. All right, I got it on my phone. It's all good.
Yeah.
I have pictures on my phone. We can just pull them up.
I took a lot of BTS for that shoot. We might chop it up and make a little real situation.
All right, so let's just talk about the ones where she was standing, like when I was first getting into the groove of things.
Man.
All right, so here's a picture right here for y'all. How many lights? I have to count. Red gel, purple gel, hair light, fill light,
and then the
heart.
global. Yeah.
5 light setup. Yeah, 5 light setup for this look. It doesn't look like it, I guess. You see what I'm saying? Because as it meets eye, but I guess it's after practice and doing it so often. Yeah. It looks pretty simple.
Those seamlessly integrate into this, yeah.
Yeah. But this was a 5 light setup. Shout out to Mel and Tashara. They came to us with a full mood board, full how the makeup gonna look, how hair gonna look. Mel made the outfit.
This is how it's supposed to go.
How it's supposed to go, yeah. Full creative direction. So I'm saying, down to how they want the mood to look. So once I saw the mood board, I was like, okay, bet. I'm gonna try something with the Snoop because he had a spotlight look on there, but I'm like, okay, let me switch it up and just do a heart instead. They had this picture of Rihanna, and the lighting was like red and purple, so I knew, okay, let me throw a red and purple gel in there. And then the hair light, I just feel like the hair light kind of, Valentine's Day always reminds me of like Hollywood glamour a little bit. So I'm saying, so like that, and she had blonde, pinkish hair.
And that's a signature for Hollywood glamour is exaggerating the hair.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, let me incorporate something from Hollywood glamour. You know, that harsh hair light. I believe I had an 80-200 with a reflector cone and a 20 degree grid on there. But yeah, 5 light setup. It came out crazy.
That's a shot, bro.
Yeah. These were shots. My favorite shot, I'm going to show it on the screen right now, is this shot where she's laying down. And at first, let me show you what I did at first. So at first she was laying down and I went and got the beauty dish with the grid on it. And instead of letting the heart hit her, I made the heart go behind her and go straight to the wall.
Straight to the background.
Yeah, and then I had the beauty dish illuminate her. And it was dynamic still. But as I'm walking out, like I'm done with the shoot, I'm like, dang, I'm tripping. Let me just at least see what this heart looks like on her.
Again, just willing to try it.
Yeah, willing to try it. So I'm saying, so this is what it came out, and this is my favorite shot of the shoot where the heart is hitting her and it passes her and goes to the wall. It creates like this It's so dynamic because the heart's off to her right, but
you still see the shape of it also.
You see the heart, yeah. Crazy.
Wow, that's a shot.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure they plan on dropping these on Valentine's Day. You know, maybe I could do like a deeper breakdown into this 5 light setup.
I think people want to see those videos though, bro. Like people want to see, because I mean the podcast is a little bit difficult to go into an extensive breakdown of everything, but you know, do these separate videos of people. So people can really get into the process of breaking down these shots, bro.
Exactly. And then just like I mentioned in the Valentine's Day campaign headshot video, it's super important to isolate these lights because before I even got to this final shot, I looked at what each light would do. So I'm saying?
Same.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. You have to isolate lights. You have to look at what each light is going to do, how each light is going to impact. And that's why, again, I can't stress enough how important it is to know how to use the trigger. So I'm saying, and you know, each light gets its own group. That way you have full control over the lighting in your photo shoot.
Let me ask you, bro. And it's a little bit off topic, but since we're talking about the trigger, right?
Yeah.
When you shoot, right, do you pay attention in studio at least that much to your settings, or do you primarily adjust the power of your light to get the shots you want?
Power of my light. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's power of the light for sure. Cause I mean, I guess sometimes, bro.
I mean,
we
generally
share a camera, so
yeah. I
generally don't even look at the settings because I know you're not adjusting to nothing crazy. Like unless I know you just went outside and did a shoot or something.
So let me tell you the things I pay attention to when I first pick up my camera, right? Mm-hmm. I check maybe my white balance to make sure, of course, like it matches the situation I'm going to get into, right? A lot of times I'm in studio, I shoot a custom Kelvins to create the warmth or coolness that I want, right? But overall, my settings exist in a certain range, and I just focus on light power in studio, man.
Yeah, facts.
And I mean, people always ask you, what do you? Because I know somebody's gonna look at this shot and be like, "Yo, what are your settings?"
What are your settings? Yeah. And it's tough. It's tough. I guess settings will come into play here a little bit because I shot very high f-stop and very low ISO. So I think I was like 100 and maybe 8 or 9 on my f-stop.
Is the f-stop to keep the saturation in the colors of the gels?
It's to help the saturation for sure. But it could have been anything. But why I'm saying maybe I could have paid attention to it is because my f-stop was so high and my ISO was so low. I had to keep the heart on the snoot at 1/1, which gave me all of these shots where the heart didn't show up because the recycle time because
crazy. You're shooting at full power.
Fam.
And if you had your f-stop a little lower, ISO a little higher, you could afford to drop the light power.
I would have to be at 1/1. I could have been at a quarter, an eighth. So I'm saying. So I guess in that situation, you could pay attention to that if you're trying to move through the shoot faster.
That's very true. Yeah.
Have your lights hit faster, but. Generally, not in studio.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I mean, I've heard more experienced photographers kind of agree with the point that we're making now, where primarily in studio, you're relying on the power of your light.
Yeah.
to create the shots that you want, right? And not more so the like native settings of your camera.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, everybody has a different approach to their photography, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's some concrete rights and wrongs about it, but generally, I mean, if you're accomplishing the shot, all power to you. Like
exactly, the image is sharp. You know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. I think you're good. But yeah, I mean, there's a few instances I can't really think of anywhere in studio like your camera settings matter too much. You know, I mean, with these new cameras, you can shoot a really high ISO and still be good.
Yeah, I mean, we shoot with mirrorless cameras, so it's like
it doesn't even matter like that.
We can really go crazy.
Nah, exactly. Yeah. The only thing I could really think of off bat is just recycle time. Yeah, like if you want a faster recycle time, you know, shoot with a lower light power. But that's it.
But it's basic. It's basic principles. But you mentioned something that kind of brings me into the next topic that I want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
We do a lot in studio when it comes to like photography, right? But we don't talk about enough the fact that we're like full-time photographers, bro. Like this is what we do. Yeah. Right? Day in, day and out, like from 12 to 12 because our time is unpredictable, right? Yeah. But this is what we do all day, bro, right? And something that I've been thinking about sharing with people is kind of how we weather the storm of being a freelancer, like how we deal with certain things, primarily like unpredictable income, right? Because everybody has the same question when they're thinking about going full time is like, you know, what do I do when I don't have a consistent, you know, check coming in on the 1st and the 15th?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a multi-layered topic for sure. Damn, I don't even want to make the podcast too long, but that's a multi-layered topic for sure. Where do I even start? How do I deal with it? Yeah. So there's been different points, different periods of my life, and I'm at a different place now
than when you first started.
When we first started. And I mean, the income has gotten more predictable, but to an extent, we do have our slow periods. You do have your time when the economy contracts unexpectedly, and you're like, well, dang, you know. When we first started, you know, we didn't have any jobs. This was all we did. How did I deal with unpredictable income? Let's go back to when we started getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we first started getting paid after like a year.
I can't help but laugh at this.
No, yeah. We started getting a real check like a year after owning the studio. Everything else we used to pay ourselves like $60 a week.
Yeah, exactly. We used to get paid $63 a week to be exact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So dealing with that, go get a job. Like,
At that stage, that stage is when I think when you're at that stage where you're literally like not making any money off your work yet.
Yeah.
The best bet is to get a job.
Yeah, get a job and maximize your time. I mean, you're gonna have to sacrifice some sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you work 9 to 5, and between that, you know, 5 to 9 is when you really need to be working on your craft.
Exactly.
Right? But I think the smartest way is, I agree with you. The smartest way out the gate is to split your time.
Exactly. So let's talk about when we first started getting a real check. Individually, I used to oversave.
Yeah.
And I still do oversave because there's just that paranoia, you know, going back broke. So once we started to get a real check, and I was like, oh, thank God, like, you know, studio moving, we getting money, We weren't even familiar with unpredictable income at the time because we hadn't made anything before, so the studio took off.
We were still pretty young, and we weren't in a career, and we didn't quit our career to do this.
Exactly.
We were college dropouts, and we just decided, hey, man, we're going to try something.
Exactly. So individually, I used to oversave when we first started getting paid from the studio. I know business-wise, we weren't really familiar with the idea of unpredictable income. We definitely thought that was going to last forever, what we were making at the time. It was the economy was booming. This was like PPP time, COVID time. Everybody had bread.
People had money to spend.
Yeah.
Discretionary spending, I mean, the feds told you discretionary spending at the time was through the roof. You know, people had money to spend on things like photo shoots and big occasions in their life. So we saw the return on that type of spending because our business directly relates to that.
Exactly. Yeah. But after that period, I guess, as we became seasoned entrepreneurs and seasoned photographers, individually, again, I'll do individually and then business wise, but individually, I still just oversave and invest, my extra income just to, weather when we do have down periods, whether it be like 2-3 months, okay, I didn't blow all my bread, that month when we did really good. I have that set aside so I can weather a little storm. I can, I ain't living lavish, but I'm not, on my face. I know you could probably get into business wise. I know one thing we do business wise to weather unpredictable, is crazy as it sounds, is we reinvest.
Yeah.
And try to make ourselves more concrete. We expand our services. So you can kind of elaborate on that, but we expand our palette of services and things like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
So one thing I do agree with you on the personal side is that you definitely need to live within your means and follow the basic principles of like personal finance. Fund your emergency fund. Right? I mean, as soon as you start to make some money off your work, the best thing to do is, save a certain amount of money, fund your emergency fund, because I mean, you're a freelancer. Things are going to change for you, right? You're not going to always be making something consistent. But in terms of business, when things get slow, because they do, we have our hot period during the winter months. And then directly after that, we plummet into a slow period.
Yeah.
Right? That January is always where we get that lag and we're, okay, what's going on, right? So the difference between ourselves and some people might be our business is not as unpredictable as others because we kind of have some level of structure now than when we first started. Right?
For sure.
So our business is kind of split between the photo shoot services that we offer and the rentals that we offer as, a space that people can come through and rent. So we kind of have some level of predictability, but in the periods of time where the revenue is fluctuating, we make sure that we diversify. Yeah, diversifying our income. So you want to make sure that you have multiple streams of income, especially when your business is at this stage, right? And not a lot of our viewers maybe have their business at this stage, but it's something to foreshadow how you can kind of structure, right? So because of the way our business is structured, we give ourselves different opportunities to make money. So not only do we offer rental services, we offer equipment rental services, we offer prop rental services, we offer maternity dress rental services, right? So we offer services for brands, video services, photo services. So we kind of make ourselves recession proof in that regard, right?
Yeah.
We don't limit ourselves to one singular thing because if things change, then we are stuck.
Yeah.
Right? But we kind of give ourselves the best bet at success in different periods, right? Now, in terms of on the personal side, I definitely think, right, that you should kind of stagger your growth, right, as a freelancer. I wouldn't go out and the first time I make a certain amount of money, I'm going to go buy all the equipment that I've been keeping my eye on, right? I think we read a book back in 2020 or 2019, The Lean Startup, right? And it spoke about like having your MVP, your minimum viable product, right? Just the smallest version of something that you can have to get something executed, right? To get from point A to point Z, right? So what that looks like for a freelancer is to get that set of equipment that's going to get you paid first, right? And then incrementally increasing your equipment, right? Incrementally increasing the things that are going to get you paid and not jumping out the gate and stepping too far and then flopping.
Yeah. Right? And I mean, a true testament to that, even to this point where we are, is we don't own a good lens for our campaign shoots.
Yeah. Like we still rent.
Yeah, we still rent our macro lens for our campaign shoots.
So, and then somebody would say, a business of our size, like how do you not have all this crazy equipment? Yeah. I mean, we have 2 cameras and we have studio lighting. I mean, we have multiple like strobes and stuff like that. But when it comes to the amount of camera equipment that other people have. We don't have anything close to it.
Nah, yeah. We shoot our main lenses are rusty and trusty 24 to 70, man.
But that's also how we were able to save a ton of money.
Yeah.
Right? Because we allow our projects to fund the equipment that we're going to use.
Build it in.
We build it in, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to go out there and say, okay, well, we're going to go buy this 85. We're going to go buy this 100. We're going to buy this 7200 and have all of these things here that we can't afford, right? Mm-hmm. And not to say we can't afford it, because of course we can go purchase it, right?
But is it the thing that makes sense?
Yeah. Precisely, because we have expenses that come with a business. We have taxes to pay. We have overhead to take care of, right? We have staff that we have to pay consistently. So we make sure that we don't bite off more than we could chew at any given point.
No, I understand. It's staggering our growth.
Staggering your growth.
I mean, once we're in the lane, because we get booked, a decent amount of campaign shoots, but it's not to where it feels like, we need to go get a macro lens right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying. So, I mean, of course, like if we stepped in the game and we're doing like, we have mad retainer clients.
That's when you start paying for convenience of having that
on hand,
ready to go.
That's on hand. But it's just like you're saying, staggering our growth. Until we get there, it only makes sense that we rent for these one-off projects.
And that's very true. And then one thing I thought about, right, when I think about the dealing with this balance right here, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask, like, because we're full-time photographers and we're full-time studio owners, right? Mm-hmm. How is that balance for you, bro? Because I know I catch myself sometimes trying to maintain these two roles, right?
So it's tough. I will say it's tough. I mean, the most difficult part about it for us per se is when we stepped into larger projects for our maternity shoots and our campaigns. Because those require like 3-4 days of floral
planning and prep.
So I'm saying, and because our studio is rented and we don't want to ever impede or impose on any of our rental clients their ability to get their project done, we have to do our projects after 10 p.m. We have to do our projects after 10 p.m. and we also can't keep them in studio, so we have to find a way to make these large floral arrangements movable, and it's tough. It's a little tough,
and that's gotta affect like work-life balance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime we have, look at January. We had a few large like floral projects in January, and December.
December was insane. So like you look at a period of time like that where you have all these big projects and you also like stacked with studio rentals. Bro, you're here we open at 10 a.m. You're here from a little before 10 a.m. till, 3-4 in the morning and doing it consistently 4 or 5 days in a row. So it is tough on work-life balance, but I kind of view it as sacrifice right now. Because we're still in that building stage.
Yeah, still in that building stage, and we see the results of like, every time we stay late, every time, we make the sacrifice. So it's tough for me to be like, nah, I can't do this no more, because that win, it fuels me, it feeds me. Like,
I think everybody around me, I make sure they understand my drive, my direction, my goal. Right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to make sure that everybody in my life is on the same page, right? Mm-hmm. Because at this stage where I'm trying to get the business to this point, right, it's not always going to be peachy. It's not always going to be, Wayne is going to be home at this time, Wayne is going to be able to take this vacation with his family, or going to be at every event with my nephew, right? Some things I'm going to have to sacrifice, and I'm going to eventually get to the point where I can have a more even balance. Mm-hmm. But at this stage where I'm working on two separate business models at the same time, it's going to require more of me.
And two separate business models at the same time, and trying to be the absolute best
at both.
Because we don't leave our studio rental behind. Like, we just dropped racks on our studio upgrades. So I'm saying,
another thing that I think about, bro, we have an unconventional approach to studio ownership, right? Mm-hmm. Most photographers end up in a situation where they're successful photographers, then they transition into studio owners, and then they create studio rental as a passive income, right? That is the inverse.
Opposite, yeah. We opened our studio, and then 2 years later,
we opened we were never at that point in time. I've never taken. I never took a picture.
The plan was never to be photographers.
Exactly, right? So the inverse of that happened. So I fell in love with having an amazing studio. First things first, right? I fell in love with the service of owning a studio and having people come in and appreciate that space and delivering quality service to them in that regard and putting customer service first. Mm-hmm. So I'm never going to get to the stage where I think like, okay, well, my photography business is more important than my studio business, right? Because my studio business facilitated my photography business.
Yeah. I mean, you can almost look at it as the studio rental pays the bills.
It does.
And then your photography is, pays you.
Pays my salary, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to break it down into like the most simple terms. So I'm saying. Yeah. It is tough though, for sure. And I like what you mentioned about like people around you just knowing like, it's just not that season right now.
Yeah.
It's not like Ruth Chris every night. It's not, we chilling. So I'm saying it's really like work. And I struggle with the thought of like, okay, I used to think life was linear. So not to go too much off on the tangent. Yeah. I used to think life was linear. So when we first started the business, we were young. We were 21. I used to think life was linear. It's like, okay, I'm finna put in work for 2 years. 2 years, I'm finna be straight. So I'm saying, like, I'm finna, be able to get back, going family vacation. I'm gonna have somebody in here, just running my thing for me, and we getting paid. And at first, it was a little, cause the reason we became photographers, so I'm saying, kind of spoiled that. Like us becoming photographers spoiled that dream to an extent. Like, just having somebody here, cause the idea at first was, just hire a photographer, and have them do the shoots. Just, we set up our systems, our ads, our leads. We get them in, get them out.
Yeah.
But us becoming photographers kind of spoiled that dream. And at first it was a little depressing and a little overwhelming for me to think like.
Likewise.
Because I used to think like, dang, when do I get out of this? But then I think finding a passion for it and finding a love for it and, pushing to do the projects we want to do. Because I will say a lot of the work we're doing now are things I enjoy more than what we did when we first became photographers. Because we just had the cookie cutter, like...
Yeah, vanilla approach.
Approach, like, okay, this is what you want to do, boom, get you out of here. And, the money was good and it was cool, but, it wasn't very fulfilling to me. And, like, personally, I want to do something that's fulfilling and gets me paid. So I feel a lot better about it right now. But when we first became photographers, it was a little daunting. I was like, when do I get out of here? What's my exit strategy? But I'm here to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to stay. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. So.
Yeah, because you're trying to build something now that's a lot more sustainable than our initial approach. And it's ironic that when we started to take our business a lot more serious is when we saw a drop-off in clientele and where we had to enter into that building stage of getting new clientele.
Yeah, which affects the money.
So
that was even more daunting. So it's like, you lost your time.
Yeah.
Right? Because it felt like we had way more free time back then.
Of course, because we were just... Yeah. Even when we first started shooting, it was so simple. We were just shooting whatever was on the schedule. So when the studio closed, you had nothing to think about.
Yeah, we weren't doing elaborate setups. It was like... Sometimes you look at what a client is doing the day of and be like,
yeah, because you
just want the brown background.
Yeah, sure, I can go in and shoot you real quick. Yeah.
So, and that was even more daunting, bro. But I mean,
that is the consequence of pursuing excellence, is that you don't get the opportunity to be able to do what everybody else is doing. You don't get the opportunity to chill all the time. You don't get the opportunity to go to bed when everybody else goes to bed. You have to sacrifice time to achieve the heights that you want to achieve in your business, right?
That's a bar. Make sure you chop that.
That's a bar. It's facts, though.
That's facts.
It's facts, right?
Yeah, that's facts.
And it's something that's been a testament to our business as soon as we got to the point, because I mean we've been these type of people, right? Outside of this business, we've been those type of people who've always seen ourselves with a certain esteem, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately,
it's a cost.
It's a cost.
It's a cost, and you almost feel a prisoner of it sometimes, Doc. Because honestly, it's like then you wish you could be like, nah, let me just chill. But it's like, yo, we'll go crazy. I mean, how many times even in recent, like in the last year and a half or so, it'd be like, all right, bro, this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is what we
get to chill, like, yeah. And then we're like, no,
nah, you see what they, nah, there's more to it. We could do this.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a never-ending cycle, right? But if it is, what keeps me going is that we're pursuing something excellent, bro.
Greater than us.
We're pursuing something that's greater than us. And I know we're talking about photography, but I think in anything that you're focusing on, that you put this much energy behind, bro. It's like the plot of the book, The Alchemist, right? Basically, anything that you focus on with this type of tenacity, the universe conspires
to make it real.
To make it real for you, bro. Mm-hmm. And I do think what we've been able to achieve at this point in our business is a testament to that, bro.
Yeah,
right. Facts. This is a culmination of everything around us kind of coming together to be like, okay, this is your purpose, this is your path.
Facts.
Right? And I've never considered myself somebody who kind of had a purpose. I've always been somebody who's done what I had to do, right? But I found something in photography that I fell in love with.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Bro.
It has me.
It has me. Yeah. And I mean, if you would ask this question of us like 5 years ago, come on, bro.
Nah, even when we opened the studio, it was just like, I mean, honestly speaking, the studio was just, we had a car dealership and the studio was,
a side hustle. Yeah. Side hustle.
Yeah.
And now, we consider ourselves like the best photography studio in South Florida, right? The best photographers in South Florida.
So we're really locked in. We send each other photography content, video content every day.
Because we're trying to sharpen these skills, right? Yeah. And something that I think about, bro, and I know this is like a touchy topic, but how do you think you deal with being such a like competitive creative, but still like maintain this service to your rental clients, right? Because how do you maintain that competitive edge while still being able to service your rental clients?
I'm not sure. I think it's still something I
think we're still navigating that, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely still navigating that. Because I mean, candidly speaking, just growing up the way we did and growing up and seeing the things we saw, naturally you're like, yo, you kind of like
territorial to this because
you're territorial. It's like, yo, we've grown up, you see people get the rug snatched from under them.
Yeah, we haven't lived a life of abundance.
So I'm saying you see people sleep, something is taken away from them. They slept on an opportunity. They gave somebody an opportunity. They gave someone else an opportunity to do something, and that person left them, by the wayside. So it's still because I genuinely like helping people. So I'm saying, and I genuinely do, want to see everybody win. So it is still something I still navigate, but I'm just naturally competitive.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I naturally want to be the best, but I guess the difference with me than, most people is I want to be the best, but not at someone else's cost.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, it doesn't, I don't want to be the best and you be the worst. So I'm saying, I just want to be the best.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you could be the best too.
So I agree with you because I love the spirit of collaboration. Yeah. I love when talented people come together and make something great, right? What I don't like is feeling like I'm being drained of my creative energy.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I don't like, right?
Yeah, when there's no reciprocation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's unfortunate. It's something that you deal with because we deal with like different levels of photographers on the spectrum. We deal with the people who this is their very first session, and we deal with people who are been shooting long before we even thought about photography, right? And it's a level of difficulty when you have some people who come in, they're like, oh well, here's what I want to do.
Set it up for me. You know, that's a little tough. So I'm saying
my hands are kind of tied there,
and not to be, you know, that we all have the same 24 hours, but like everything we learn with photography is from YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm saying we didn't go to school for it. It's not a coveted secret. Everything we've learned has been on YouTube. So, like candidly speaking, it almost feels as if, you know, dang, I spent the hours researching, mastering, practicing this craft. And dang, if I sit here and give you this look,
then what do I have?
Then what do I have?
Because I just gave this to you.
It's a lot different when, you know, somebody comes in with their plan already and they're like, oh dang, this one thing not looking right. Of course, I'm gonna go in there. I'm like, oh fam, you just gotta, you know, da 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 da. Yeah. But you know, it does rub me the wrong way when someone walks in and like, yo, set this look up for me. Bro,
I've had so many situations where somebody walks in with a look that I've done, something that I've sat there and researched for hours and how I'm going to execute this look. And somebody walks in like, hey, set this up for me.
Yeah. You know,
and I mean, I want to give you the best service that I can possibly give you, right? But you have to understand that you're doing that also at my expense now.
Yeah. 100%.
You're definitely doing something at my expense because now something that is signature to me, and of course, like, yo, we're critics, we get inspired. I mean, I get inspired by so many people, right? But I've never been the person to hop in somebody's inbox and say, yo, how did you get this specific shot? Because I'm going to do this specific shot in the exact same way that you did it for my client, right? Who could book you, but they're not going to book you.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it's difficult in that regard. And I think as I grow as a business owner and as a photographer, because I'm still new to all of this, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get to the point where I'm able to identify that balance in that regard.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm still testing the waters of how, because I just got good at photography.
Yeah,
I've just reached a level where people are like, hey,
raving about the work,
raving about my work.
You as like you're an educator.
Yeah, and I've always been proficient at photography, to be honest with you, right? Mm-hmm. But I've just gotten to the stage where I'm like, my work is being identified, like it's being something that's a staple, something that people are referencing, right?
Yeah.
And while like I love that feeling of like recognition in that regard, it's also disheartening when I see like it being discounted when somebody's just like, hey, do it for me.
Do it for you, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does feel like a slap in the face.
Of course, man.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I keep saying candidly speaking because I'm just being honest here. Yeah. It's a unique situation with us too because we own the studio. I mean, we've seen firsthand examples of, you know, people have went to our website, saw our price, and, you know, go to someone who charges less, and ask them to ask us
how to do a look.
And I mean, you know, if we could just take a step back and be a little real, you know, as a fellow creative, you have to see how that's like.
As a human being,
you have to see that's like, wow.
Yeah, empathize with me here.
Like, yeah, you know, like I'm a human. I have bills to pay. Yeah. I did the research. This is my craft. You know, unfortunately, that would be taking food out of my plate if I.
And my competitive edge in this regard is that I know how to execute that.
Exactly.
Right. This is my bag. Yeah. I
this
do this.
This is what you studied for.
Yeah. This is what people book me for. Right.
Exactly.
So if I give all of that away, then I'm just lost in the entire like pool of people.
It would feel like you wasted your time.
Yeah, and then, you know, somebody can make the argument like, it's enough work to go around. It's not. right?
Yeah, unfortunately,
it's not.
There's no infinite market.
There's no infinite market. There's a share of the market, and we all compete for a share of that market, right? Now, we're all creatives, and we collaborate, we intersect, and I love sharing, I love learning, I love to give people game, right? But at the end of the day, if we are competing for the same share of the market, right? Yeah. I'm never predatory, and I'm never...
No, yeah. I would never try to steal someone's client.
Never
steal your client.
I've never done it. Yeah. We'll never do it.
We'll never do that. You know what I'm saying? I just do my part.
I just do my
work. So I'm saying
I hold my section.
I just fairly want my share. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And I just want the basic respect as like a creative, like creative to creative, right? Like the integrity of work and then the integrity of understanding, like, yo, the time and effort that comes with building like a portfolio.
Yeah, facts. Because it's been over the course of years. It's not
been
an
over
overnight
years, bro.
thing.
Yeah,
it may feel overnight because it's such a short period of time, but in that short period of time, we have done tons of collabs.
Yeah, so I'm saying
to get where we are, and we've sacrificed tons of money. A lot of our maternity looks. I was just thinking about this today. A lot of our maternity looks even.
The staple ones.
The staple ones. We barely broke even.
Barely.
So I'm saying because we couldn't convince the client to pay for it. So what do?
We had to come out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and a lot of times, not even in terms of business fund, out of our personal salaries.
Personal pocket. When the studio, it didn't have it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely had to come out of our personal salaries to get those bangers, those staple looks, the looks that y'all look at now and be like, yo, that is 2711 Studios, right? We've made those sacrifices. So, I mean, I hate when it gets discounted into, it's cheapened to like, yo, hey, set this up, bro.
Yeah, set this up for me.
There you go. Get back there, put that together for me, bro. Like, come on. Man.
It definitely is a slap in the face. That's something I still navigate.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're new to it, bro. I mean, we're learning, and this is a space that also, as when you come in to get game here, you also get our perspective, and it's transparent in the struggles that we face as photographers also, and the struggles that we face as business owners. And week after week, we're gonna share things that are personal to us, and things that you guys can use, because maybe when you open your own studio. Mm-hmm. Or when you get to the stage of your business where, your work is revered in that regard, you kind of know how to navigate those things now. Mm-hmm. And this is not your first time, hearing about these situations.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying?
For sure. Man. Yeah. But I mean, just to wrap it up, Sabrina's look went crazy. Tashar's look went crazy. What do we speak about after that?
We give y'all some game on how to, manage.
Navigate unpredictable income. And then, just the struggle of, being a full-time photographer and running a photography studio and, finding that balance when it comes to your competitive edge. You know what I'm saying?
All these things are very relatable, bro.
Yeah, then, one final thing regarding, the competitive edge is, unfortunately, we live in America, which is, the free market. It's capitalism. And you see it around you every day. And we could be revolutionaries and, not operate, in this system and, say we're going to go against the grain. But, in reality, everything we use, everything in our day-to-day life, every company, it's competition.
Bro, Apple just had to take millions of Apple Watches off the shelves. You know why? They didn't have the patent for the blood oxygen.
Yeah. It's the same concept.
They didn't. I mean, that is another company's competitive edge. Exactly. Right? And they were infringing upon that. Right?
Precisely.
So they had to stop.
Yeah. Right? I'd say the solution is to, just find your competitive edge. Because when you find your competitive edge, that's when you get there. So I'm saying, when you have that competitive edge, that is when it's like, oh, well, dang. People are going to look at it and be like, well, I can't book over there. It only makes sense for me to book here because only this person can book.
And that's a nugget. If you take nothing away from, this segment of it, it's to find the thing that makes you, right? the thing that makes it so somebody else can't easily replicate what you do.
Facts.
Right? And I saw Chad Lawson speaking about something similar to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's going to be the differentiating factor between you and the pool of other people who offer a similar service, bro.
Exactly.
Right? And when you have that thing, hold it close to you, right?
Yeah.
Hold your cards to your chest, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hold your cards to your chest and make sure that, you don't ever give away your goal, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But, man, we'll see y'all on the next one.
See y'all in the next episode. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Man, if y'all got questions, man, lock them in the comments, bro.
For sure, yeah. We want to answer any questions in any episode. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Till next time, y'all.
Y'all be safe.
Yo.